Since the beginning of time, or at least the beginning of television, we've been documenting our surroundings for a nominal fee. Tonight, we document those documentaries with your old pal Wes and the Reverend Jeff Kelly. This is Bigfoot Documentaries, Uncensored.
Uncensored bitches.
That's right. Heed the adult advisory, explicit content warning. Please, and welcome to Bigfoot Talks Uncensored. I am your host, the Reverend Jeff, and this is Bigfoot Talks Uncensored. Like we said, this is episode 9, and with me, as always, is your old pal Wes of WesLossner.com. How you doing, big guy Wes?
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're ready for tonight.
I was so waiting for you to say fuck, as you always do at the beginning of every show, but yeah, you're getting disappointed me once again. But I love you, buddy. It's okay. Hey, this week we are talking about Return to Boggy Creek. Abby Joe, T-Fish, what the hell was that little kid's name? I don't know. We're going to talk about it all tonight. And thank God this series is finally the hell over. Wes, buddy, what was your overall thoughts of the beginnings of this Return to Boggy Creek?
Well, for one, me and you both had the same problem of finding a good copy. And after finally settling on the one that I found, it started out exactly the way the first one did.
Yeah. It seems there was definitely a theme across all three of the Boggy Creek movies. A bunch of useless animal pictures at the beginning of it. However, this one, the Return to Boggy Creek, had a much less ominous feel to the beginning of it.
Yeah, it was less creepy, but you still got the same stroll through the swamp with the creature, and then so then it moves into they're at I'm guessing that little cafe is where all those old guys were chilling and they're arguing about who caught the biggest garfish or whatever,
And don't make light of that though, because seriously, in the swamps and the bayous, that shit happens every damn day. You will find a coffee shop in these piss poor little friggin' towns where these guys are sitting in there out fishing all day, arguing about who the hell brought in the biggest gar. That is for sure. This is definitely a fishing village, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. And so then they pan out and you see these kids out in the boat and they're goofing around, fishing, catching
let's stop
some
right
fish.
There. Let's stop right there. Just some kids. Well, let's get it straight. We got Evie Joe, who's all of maybe 9. By the way, It's played by Dana Plato, who played the older sister on Different Strokes when she was a teenager. Just a few years after this, there was little tiny T-Fish. T-Fish was 4, maybe 5, didn't even talk. And the middle kid, he's just like that Jimmy from the last show. I don't even know what that kid's name was. Didn't learn it through all 3 times I watched this movie.
John Paul,
that's the one. And he's maybe 7. So we got a 4 or 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old out on the bayou boat running a trot line, catching catfish all by their lonesome.
Yep. Yeah. So then, they focus on them catching, fish. And then, the kids return home. Their grandparents are there. And, this is where you get the mention of the monster. And they called it something. They called it, Big Bay Tie or some shit? Big Bay Tie.
Big Bay Tie.
Yeah, so... Maybe you Southern viewers, can help us out on that, But
from Arkansas.
Like. Arkansas. But then they cut to this scene of this family. They're in right at the edge of the creek, I'm guessing, and the little boy says, Dad, a bear, and you're hearing rustling. You don't see shit because the resolution. I dare someone to find a better copy of this fucking movie.
It was really, really poor.
Yeah, so then, the dad walks over there. What are you talking about? And, then you see
there's no bears around here in the swamp, boy.
creature doing the bushwhacker, fucking walk
what was
through the
deal
water.
with Biggie splashing the water everywhere he went? Every time you saw Biggie, he was splashing water like the Ivan Marks video was.
Yeah, but also there's that other hoax video that came out not too long ago that was like in the Florida swamps, wasn't it? Where it was sitting there doing that fucking splash shit.
Yeah, totally. That was after the other stupid Florida swamp figurine, I want to call it. Anyhow, so the kids are out. They're out running their trot line, and they're doing really well. They got back in. We're seeing the oh god, it's a bear. Well, we don't really know what it was because dark copy was so shitty. It was just a dark spot. But moving right along.
Yeah, so then they end up going to the fish markets because I guess every day they have this weigh-in or whatever with the fish, and then so you get this little part, and this is where I'm like, okay, are they saying that this kid can fucking psychometrize in his brain? Because you know the scene, those two guys are talking about the kids, and they're talking about how T-Fish is strange.
He don't talk.
He don't talk.
But Emmy Jo, she seems to know exactly what he's thinking. He seems to be able to let her know exactly what he wants.
Yeah, so it's like, wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was no psychometrizer in this one, unfortunately. They didn't have the money for the budget in 77.
That's why they fucking did the
mind speak. Hey, maybe that's where the mind speak generation actually came from, was Return to Boggy Creek. Wow, we're learning so much about this stuff. Yeah, so they bring on Emmy Jo's catching. Now, I was watching them weigh all these fish as they're at the fish market, and everybody's bringing in their own bucket, and they're hanging it from this line, and this line's telling them exactly how much this stuff weighs, yet they don't know how much the bucket weighs. And then they come in and hook up Emmy Jo's big-ass freaking cooler bucket, and there's 54. Shit, that damn bucket could have weighed 22 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. But the guy that owned the cafe comes out and goes, look, I want Emmy Jo's catch. I want all Emmy Jo's catfish. Yeah. And the guy's like, oh, I already told someone 60 cents. And he goes, well, I'll pay 70. I already got it on the menu.
Yeah, I see right there it says fresh Emmy Jo catfish right on my menu here. All right, Phil, I'll give it to you. Man, so Emmy Jo she was popular. Boy, she could run a catfish line.
Yeah. And then the two boys, they're antagonizing that fucking guy, the fucking prick of the movie.
Yes, he was definitely the Antichrist of the movie. Boudreaux. He's
like, I'll beat you one day, kid.
Yeah, this guy's like 35, 32, should have a wife and kids of his own, but no, he's worried about beating catfish and, some three little kids from friggin' the swamp. That's because they got their special sauce. Grandpa uses teaches them how they got a specials. You gonna give me that secret one of these days.
Yeah. So another thing you learn is that Emmy Jo does not like Little Miss Renee. What's her name?
It so reminded me
this girl a lot.
Yeah, it so reminded me of like Nellie in Little House on the Prairie. She was just a nasty little shit. I like your dress. Well, I don't have a dress. This is what I wear. Well, I wear dresses every day. Well, Glotty fucking die to you too, bitch. I mean, I just wanted to smack that little kid right upside her head.
So those little boys, as that little snotty girl Renee is talking to them, those little boys slip a little crawdad in her cup. Oh man, that's all some shit my brothers would do.
Oh, dude, I'd put a frog right in her pocket. That way, and then wait for her to walk away and just watch her put her hand in her pocket and find that frog. Oops.
Yeah, so the fucking guy that fucking saw the fucking creature with his kid at the Boggy Creek little thing earlier that we were talking about. So he pulls up in like this 1960s rape van and shit.
Definitely had the pedophile van.
He's like astonished that all these people are at this cafe market. Like he was like blown away by it. Like if you watch it, like he's like, wow.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people
like,
here.
Get my camera.
I didn't expect there to be no one here. I thought it'd be empty.
So then he's talking to one guy. one guy, and he's saying what he saw. All right. Next thing you know, the whole fucking town pops up in this scene and is like, "You saw the creature? You saw the creature? You saw the creature? Blah, blah, blah."
Where's the creature?
No, everybody's seeing the creature. The creature comes out in the dark in winter time, and then here comes Grandpa, who like literally has just been walking up, and this dude like literally just told his story a minute and 21 seconds, and Grandpa has already heard it 10 minutes away.
Right.
And comes up and is like, I understand.
I heard you heard about the creature.
Seen the creature. I'm like, holy fuck, what just happened? Like,
this was so 1970s Sunday night Disney movie. If it didn't say Walt Disney credits at the bottom of this thing at the end of it, it very well should have, because they stole the exact the exact blueprint to every Sunday night Disney movie ever and just threw it into this movie with these people.
Yeah, so you hear them talking about the creature and shit, and I wrote down in my notes because the guy said, "Oh, this creature was tracked by 40 dogs, and he killed every single one of them."
Every single one of them.
So then, because that guy in the rape van wanted to get pictures of the fucking, creature and shit. So then the prick of the movie comes out. And
I can't remember that guy's name. Boudreaux, Dang Wong, whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah. So then, they get their little agreement that they're going to do this and go on this little fucking trip.
I'm the best trekker you're ever going to find in the swamp. I got me every kind of boat you need, any kind of equipment you need. I'll take you out there, and I ain't afraid of nothing. That guy.
Yeah. So then right as that scene ends, it's kind of like moving on to the next scene, and you're hearing this like Cajun poem, singing to the kids as he's making that. Oh, shit.
Oh, no, not that one. You're. Is that where the kids started going out in the boat with poor Emmett Joe?
Well, they're about to go out in the boat with old poor Emmett Joe here after Grandpa tells them about how they've got that secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? So then the kids, they take their little secret sauce and they're going out to go fishing, and you get this song that he's trying to play right now.
I was a little early with it. So I'm gonna let it go on. Yeah, they're making their secret sauce, and Grandpa's teaching them how to make catfish catching sauce. It's the secret of the swamp. And they go out to start setting their trot line, and literally for like 3 minutes long, this song.
Well, it's about 4 minutes, yeah.
And it's just like Jerry Reed's watching the film with his guitar.
I have it down like a young Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. And he just starts like ad-libbing this song about these kids in this boat.
Yeah.
And it just goes on.
Yeah. And
I can't even get to it in so long.
In Boggy Creek fashion, it gives a theme to what's going on in the movie.
Literally, this is 41 fucking seconds into it, and there's still nothing. All we've been watching are these kids roll a fucking boat through the fucking swamp for a full minute. Okay, in a real movie, that would be like, oh my God, dude, there would be like 3 scenes in that. I just was pulling my teeth out. All I'm watching, and it's a crappy copy. The movie's shitty, and we're just watching these kids roll through the swamp. This homeboy's humming to us. I just wanted to pull my eyes out.
And speaking of pulling eyes out, art of the week.
Oh, look at that shit! It's time to talk about WesLosner.com's art of the week. Rawr! Look at that thing, dude. That's like cosmic solar friggin' tiger meets Pluto or something. I don't know, dude. Tell me about this thing.
I don't know, man. I was just feeling colorful as fuck that day, and was like,
dabbing to the lion. Dabs to the left of me, dabs to the right of me, lion in front of me. Roar! I mean, dude, that's awesome. I mean,
and I literally painted it in like seriously, like just a couple hours.
Now, did you hand sketch the lion first? I mean, or did you? I mean, was that from a stencil, or was that just out of your brain?
Well, just taking canvas and sketching a lion on there, and then painting it.
So doing it like a tattoo, like you do on skin, you do it with paint on these canvases.
Yeah, but I didn't have a reference photo for this. This is just kind of out of my brain.
Pimping out of your brain, dude. Well, that is absolutely crazy. This sucker is for sale, people, on weslosner.com.
Well, actually, this one has been sold.
Not for sale. You can't own this one. However, there are still a bunch for sale up on weslosner.com. The sales come to an end at the end of July, people. And guess what? We're halfway there. So tell me about it, Wes.
There will be prints of this lion coming soon.
Fuck yeah, prints. Yes. Dude,
that'll be like you'll be able to get a small little like 11 by 14 little poster of it, you know.
Posters are fantastic. I love posters. I want more posters. We talked about that. We're definitely going to have more posters. So go out to weslosner.com and check out all the stuff that's art and the squatchy stuff he's got for sale out there. And we'll talk about the tattoo of the week here coming up later in the show. Moving right along, sir.
So after this long fucking song that they play, all right, the kids stumble upon, you know, as they're walking in, you see that fucking footprint, the three-toed fucking Boggy Creek fucking Jurassic Park fucking monster print.
And I always thought that the three-toed print was the Honey Island monster, not the folk monster, but I guess I'm wrong.
Well, I guess there was other three-toed fucking things, you know, hey, you never know. So then you're getting the creepy music, so you know what's about to fucking happen. The kids are out there, then boom, they find a three-toed print. Little fucking T-Fish, like a dumbass, is just walking in the fucking Boggy Creek alone. Just, I don't talk, so I'm just gonna fucking, you know, no one can hear me if I get fucking hurt. And then the little creature steps right out in front of the fucking kid, and he just screams in silence.
Hauls ass, yeah, dude. Just hauls ass back to the other people, dude. And of course, Ebby Joe knew exactly what had happened to him. Oh my goodness, T-Fish, did you see the creature? Like, there wouldn't have been anything else that would have scared his little ass out there in the swamp, right? He didn't, you know, just, did you see the creature? Right off the bat, way to go there, Ebby Joe. Yeah. You got a mind reading, some psychometrizing going on with little T-Fish there.
Yeah. So then, you know, they're on their way home. They're planning out that they will fucking see, you know, the monster again. So they're going to do it, and they have to keep things quiet. Can't tell mama and all this shit, right? So then little T-Fish, who doesn't speak, was going to be the one to rat everybody out and run and go tell mama.
She's holding them down. You're not going to tell mama, are you, T-Fish? You're not? No, you sure? You sure?
Yeah. So you get where you really start to see old Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, the mama played the Marianne from Gilligan's Island was, unfortunately for us, not the 20-year-old hottie that she was in black and white episodes of, you know, when Gilligan's Island went to color, you could actually start to see that she was getting a little older. But boy, by the time she did this in '77, you could tell she was right on that over the hill marker, I guess, as you youngins like to call it.
Well, her acting fell down the hill in this one. I'll just say that much. Sorry,
well, I think they probably I think they probably stopped her and went like, "No, honey, you're too good. Okay, nobody else around you is that good, so you got to shit it up a little bit. Okay, just shit it up just a little more. There you go. Yeah. That's shitty enough. Right
she there. Like over. It seemed like she was overdoing it, like on being extra cheesy. I
think it was that southern accent she was trying to pull off.
Yeah, you're right. So she's talking to her fucking little Evie Joe about her dad. I mean, I guess that the kid's dad died in the swamp, and you get this
just disappeared. Yeah, just disappeared.
The fucking Marianne about this fucking guy, and she's got tears in her eyes, and you know, trying to win her Oscar performance as she talks about this shit. So then she gets the little girl to sleep. She goes and she just kind of moves over to the other side of the bed and just kind of lets out this weepy, "Oh, Johnny." And this part fucking scared the living fuck out of me. And I'll tell you why, because you're sitting here, you're getting all emotional, you probably maybe
bad for the
smoked a little
kids.
too much or something, so you feel bad for the family, and you're like, fuck, that sucks. But and then so she just does this like crying, "Oh, Johnny," and then the next thing you fucking hear is, "Hi, are you ready?" Just loud as shit. And it's the fucking grandpa and fucking Uncle Ben or whatever the fuck his name is, fucking yelling back and forth and having an argument with each other and shit. And so they do their fucking shit, and then the kids start planning how they're gonna stalk those two. They're gonna go look for the monster.
And
they're like basing it. Yeah. They're basing it like off of the Hardy Boys and what's the other little girl detective?
That's what Nancy Drew would do.
Yeah, Nancy Drew. So then I had this written in my notes and then I wrote, "Duh, you're dumb." I realized, I go, Mary Ann's a dumbass. She named her kid T-Fish, but then I fucking wrote, right after I wrote that in my notes, I'm like, wait, T-Fish isn't fucking Mary Ann's kid in this movie. That's
No.
Charlie's kid.
That's right.
Who Charlie, he barely fucking acknowledges T-Fish.
It's like
through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell's going on there, man?
And it's like, no wonder you got a name like T-Fish.
It's like, what's your real name? I don't know. Everybody call me T-Fish.
Yeah. So then the kids are gonna fucking start stalking the fucking guys and shit. So
but there's a storm coming.
Yes, but you get the fucking remix of the first song where they play a little longer.
Yeah.
So go 3 minutes to 4 minutes 50, So then the crazy rain comes in and fucking the guy wants to see the creature and they're getting into an argument on their fucking boat, and then fucking you hear the monster just roar that fucking horrible ass.
It's horribly. It's like friggin' what the sloth from friggin' the Goonies.
Oh man, it was horrible. So then
at least they didn't use the approximation in this one.
Oh yeah, and then you're seeing this horrible fucking storm going on, and I guess fucking grandpa hurt his fucking head in the middle of all this bullshit, and everybody was going back to that fucking fish cafe, which I think was just fucking home base central for that fucking little town.
Well, it's
Boggy
like the
Creek,
Bigfoot,
because everybody.
It's like the Bigfoot Cafe in Willow Creek. It's like, the place you go.
Yeah. And so then fucking you get Mary Ann overacting, freaking out about her kids. They're just babies.
I gotta get my babies off the swamp.
Fucking run trout lines.
Like
if they're just babies, don't let them do that shit.
Yeah, they'd be calling the Department of Child Services on your ass if it was these days, letting them little babies out in boats, freaking running trot lines on their own.
Yeah, so the kids are, out there trying to. They see that something happens and the guys got knocked out that they were stalking and in the storm, and the kids are trying to get over there, and they found this old boat. And the kids started a fire. Now this is where I was like, okay, these kids are smart kids. However, you're in a wooden boat.
You go start a fire.
Setting the floor on fire. Think it out, kids.
Well, at least they knew how to start a. There's some wood over there. I got some matches in my detective kit. Let's start a fire. Because little T-Bone or little T-Fish was soaking wet and was getting shakes, and they had to get him warm. And this was the only dry place they could find to get into and start a fire. Now, I didn't notice whether they put something metal underneath where they put the fire, because literally in a wooden boat, it ain't no big deal. You put a trash can lid down and start a damn fire, keep your ass warm. It happens. But I think you're right. I think they just laid a bunch of wood on the freaking wood deck of the boat and lit that fucker on fire.
Yeah. Well, and then so T-Fish stands guard with his little slingshot as they're fucking lighting up this fire, and they're going through all the shit that's in the boat there, this old beat up boat that nobody fucking saw before. Like suddenly the fucking boat just appears in the fucking fog or some shit.
Right.
So the kids are going through and they're finding all their missing bottles of their catfish gravy bullshit mojo crap that
No,
they
that's
were
not
missing.
that's not bull crap, dude. I'm telling you, man, catfish mojo gravy stuff works. Especially that shit that grandpa was boiling up, man. That's special.
Yeah.
That ain't mojo.
That's the good mojo.
That's that good mojo.
Yeah, so they come to the conclusion that this is where the creature lives, and that the fucking creature was drinking their catfish Kool-Aid.
Their catfish
And
Kool-Aid.
so you're getting to this scene where the fucking creature is coming and fucking you're hearing the roaring and my notes
the storm
just say, fuck the fog, because dude, the whole fucking movie, the whole shitty version that you're watching, you're like, okay, I see some dark here, I see some blue there.
Right. The resolution was so bad, and then the special effects were even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, just 1970s technology for fog and windstorms left much to be desired upon this movie.
Yeah, and I mean, you couldn't see shit, but I mean, and there was no stars, no nothing. But I do have a star here in my notes that tells me it's time to talk about the tattoo of the week.
The tattoo of the week. Look at that crap, dude. This was freaking awesome. I saw when you posted this earlier. This is pretty freaking badass, dude. I'm not really one for like the pretty schmitty, everybody's got a tattoo on their neck or on their shoulder or on the inside of their wrist, but that thing looks like it's alive. YouTube doesn't do anywhere near the justice that it needs. You can check it out on Wes Losner's at Squatchy Inc. Instagram, and I'm sure it looks 10 million times better than this. But literally, when you're looking at it on a high def picture, it looks like it's alive on this person.
Yeah, she got it like on her ribs. This is just one person that in this field you deal with all kinds of skin, and this skin, when it gets touched, it puffs up. So that's why this is literally 2 minutes after the tattoo was finished. I took the picture, and so like if I would have waited 20 minutes of letting it just chill out, I would just have a nice clean picture. But the girl was in a hurry, so this is the picture I got to take. I really enjoyed doing this butterfly because I like doing a lot of colorful stuff. So this, I had fun with it, so I wanted a picture.
Yeah.
So,
shut up, bitch! I gotta take a picture. You can wait 10 seconds. I mean, come on.
Angry skin aside, it still looks good, So
yeah, that's gonna look really good when that all friggin' heals and blends in. That's one of the things I like about the San Francisco area is we have that monarch butterfly migration every year that comes through the wine country up here. That's just fantastical. So go out to weslosner.com, WSLOSNER.com, and take a look at all the squatchy stuff he's got up there and the tattoo stuff. You'll want to go out to Good Neighbor Tattoo in Escondido, California, if you want to get inked by the great Wes Losner.
I mean, and there's also 10 other amazing artists there. And if you even just want to go check out goodneighbor.com, goodneighbortattoo.com.
Goodneighbortattoo.com.
And you'll see all the other guys I work with, a whole bunch of talented dudes, so I have fun every day going to work.
That shows what kind of an upstanding guy you are, because they would not have done the same for you if they had this opportunity. So moving along.
Yeah, so after that, we're still dealing with this fucking fog, and then you don't see this, okay? This is what the fuck moment that we're gonna have in these documentaries. Okay, I'm just gonna say this is gonna be a thing now. This is our what the fuck moment, because this fog, somehow the creature picks up the two dudes that are passed out. The creature then drags a boat all the way through the fucking creek to this boat that he's been living in that has been magically hidden until the fog.
Right, can only be seen in the fog.
Somehow, the next scene, you just see the kids in this boat with those fucking guys with a fucking tarp over the fucking boat, and they've got the two guys passed out, and they're being dragged down the fucking river or creek by the monster.
By the monster. Roar,
Yeah,
roar, roar.
in this
Splash in the
boat,
water.
yeah.
Splash in the water. Got to splash in the water if you're the Bigfoot. Got to splash the water. I mean,
Yeah.
everywhere this Bigfoot went, even when he was towing a boat over his shoulder, he was still splashing the water with one hand.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell
Just
was
pissed. Pissed. And so while they're on this long journey, because it does take a long time for a three-toed retard monster to drag you through a creek, so they found their dad's diary in this boat.
In the
How
boat.
fucking convenient.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
fucking,
Roger.
yeah.
Whatever.
So the monster's pulling him through the whole goddamn swamp, and then the monster kind of lets go and just is out of the scene for a minute. And the boat's kind of going and then gets stuck in between a tree. Then, out of nowhere, the fucking monster right back, fucking and grabs the boat again. They fucking start, and then you get the monster pulling the fucking thing, and then just gives it one good strong push and pushes that motherfucker to where the people are getting all rallied to go look for these kids that have been missing.
Gotta get my babies off the swamp. Gotta get my babies off
they've
the
been
swamp.
missing for literally 15 minutes. You know, it's just the storm rolled in really fast. You know what I'm saying? But the whole town was ready to fucking go and fucking kill a monster and I don't know, fucking catch some more catfish too. But who, you know, so the fucking kids, through the momentum of this fucking monster pushing them, make it all the way to the dock.
Oh,
the whole
there's
town,
our rock. We're almost to the landing. Oh, row. We're almost home.
Yeah. So the whole town literally gets on the fucking boat. Like, did you pay attention to the scene when they get pulled up to the dock? Literally 30 people are on this little
old ass boat. Yeah,
the little P-row, the little tiny boat that's got 2 benches in it, no motor. All right, it's just a little fucker. If I laid with just back on it, like my feet would hang off the fucking thing. 30 fucking townspeople were on this fucking boat. The doctor psychometrized from one end of the dock to the fucking boat and gave a diagnosis within a minute of them being on shore that the guys were gonna be all right and all that shit.
Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah. So then they kind of fucking move to one of the future scenes or whatever, some kind of bullshit, you know, and well, not really the future scene. I guess they go home, get cleaned up or whatever, you know, and the lady's talking to some dude or not the lady, but some guy's talking to little Evie Joe, and she says, the monster's a legend, you know, it has that fucking dorky little thing at the end. And she's trying to look exactly like her little fucking friend Renee. See how girls are.
I know, man. She had her hair,
man.
She was, but she didn't have no dress on. She did have her coveralls on, her bib overalls.
Yeah, but she had her little dingly bobs.
She did.
You know?
She was copying her little twatty friend from town.
Yeah. So then they fucking the camera guy was like so happy that these kids saved his life and shit. He pops up and he says that he left $20 in credit at the market for them kids to get whatever they want, candy, whatever, you know, and all that kind of shit. And not for the adults.
Right, he goes, but it's just for the kids.
He got in Grandpa's face.
He's
got
like,
in fucking Grandpa's face and gave him the fucking finger and said, but not for the adults. You don't get that $20, old man.
That's right. You need eggs or milk for the house. No, you can't have none of that. Them kids get to have candy or bullshit.
Yeah, so then here's your fucking zinger for the movie. T-Fish pops up and looks at his fucking grandpa, and he says, Grandpa, how much candy can you get for $20?
Oh, T-Fish. Everybody hugs and rolls on T-Fish.
Yeah, you get one of those scenes where it's like,
oh, wait, that's copyrighted. I can't do that.
Yep. Yeah, but that's basically how it is. And then you get your little hee-haw credits, I like to call it, because
Lord.
you get the little
before we
picture where
yeah,
they like,
Ebby Joe, yeah, we go through everybody because I try to catch just a cast picture where they normally have in the credit where the whole cast starts out. No, it was just them damn shine pictures for each of the stars, and then they listed off the rest of them. Now, before we get into the very finale of this, because the after scene is just hysterical, we're going to talk about that as we go out.
Yeah.
What was your overall feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Should people even bother considering this as part of the Boggy Creek experience?
Okay. No. And this is why. Now, for a family fun monster movie where there's going to be nothing scary, the monster ends up being friendly and saving the day so the kids aren't going to have nightmares. This is a kind of a good movie for that. Is there any historical anything to this fucking movie? Just the place, Boggy Creek.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Yeah,
there's nothing to this. If there's a real fucking T-fish, I want to meet him.
That's right. T-Fish, if you're out there, buddy, send us an email at sloungepodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you because we're definitely going to interview you. We could probably look him up from the credits and find out for sure. But the real T-Fish of Boggy Creek, not the guy that played him on TV. We want the real T-Fish.
No, I want to meet the real
to get a hold of him.
Non-speaking, candy-loving fucking T-Fish. I'll tattoo the fuck out of you for free, T-Fish.
That's
your
right,
old
T-Fish.
ass over here, because you're probably like 45, 50 by now.
Well, I'm 43,
right?
So be careful with the old ass comments there, jackass.
Hey.
I'm right there with you, though. For a family fun night, if you got a VHS player, because I think this thing only comes on VHS if you can find a copy of it. Go ahead and drag that sucker out and explain to your children what a VHS player is. After that, then watch Boggy or return to Boggy Creek. Other than that, useless piece of entertainment. It's bad. The copy that we had was horrible, but it was a Disney movie type Bigfoot film, like Return to Witch Mountain. That's what this was. This was the Return to Witch Mountain of Bigfoot movies for me. That's kind of where I want to leave that up on it. Now let's talk about that bonus scene after the credits there. Now what the actual fuck, dude?
Okay, now everybody, you get a little gem at the end of this fucking thing if you sit and you wait for the very end. And if you find the right copy, you will get this at the end of the credits. Fucking everybody's happy. Everybody's celebrating that they just fucking got away from the creature. And then fucking Grimace comes in and fucking just rips to shred the wall, fucking grabs T-Fish and bites that motherfucker's head off. And then you get that like, bum, bum, bum.
What the fuck is this about, man? I don't know. But you got to go find the right copy of A Return to Boggy Creek. So for that, we're going to say, for the great Wes Losner of weslosner.com, your old pal Wes, I'm your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. We say thank you for watching Bigfoot Documentaries Uncensored. And may the Squatch be with you.
I wouldn't fuck with Grimace, man.
Dude, when I was a kid, Grimace scared me. I don't like clowns.
What is he?
I don't like
what
clowns,
is he?
but that
What's
was
his
exactly
purpose?
it. I couldn't figure out what Grimace was. The Hamburglar was cool because he would steal me a hamburger.
But he had to do with a hamburger. Like, what the fuck is Grimace? Like, what is that? Like, what?
Is it
what
like just
is
like
that?
a
Is
big
that
purple
like?
dildo?
Is that what your stomach looks like after you fucking eat a whole bunch of McDonald's? Or a bunch of T-fish?
Maybe he's like a reversed mushroom.
It's so funny that this picture looks just like T-fish, though.
It's like, what the actual F, dude?
Down to the creek.
There we go. Down to the creek. Down the swamp they go.
Jean Paul.
T-fish.
John Paul.
And Joe. With her famous catfish.
Past the tree. Past the stumps they roll.
I'm about to murder these gummy bears.
Oh my god, dude.
Boggy Creek.
What are we gonna review next week?
Fuck if I know. I'll find something. Don't worry.
You know, Cameron Young sent me something, and I'll send it to you. Maybe we'll do that one.
Yeah, I have a little search of the 80s.
Oh yeah, because we are actually in the 80s. We had to come back to wrap this one up, but
Yep.
now we've done them all. The Boggy Creek. We'll have to get into the new Boggy Creek much later on, though.
There's another one?
Yeah, 2010 they redid the Boggy Creek and the Legend Continues.
Holy shit.
We could do that one next week if you wanted, and we could wrap it up good and tight. I'm about sick of Boggy Creek myself, but why get back into it again later?
I hope they don't have theme songs, is all I'm saying. I can't wait to eat these gummy bears. I'm putting them in my mouth now.
Angel lives there, and men have died.
Oh my God, this song just won't end.
Oh, they haven't even got to climax yet.
There's still 30 seconds left.
A secret
A secret
to hide.
to hide. There it is.
Abby Joe.
Baby Joe. Mm-hmm.
And John Paul, what's his shit?
Old T-Fish. Thanks for watching, y'all. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you do have to get the hell up out of here.
Or just go rewatch it.
That's what most people do. It's kind of fun.
Click
That'd be
like,
great.
comment,
Like,
subscribe.
comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace!
Come